Hello, Steve Arts 89. Well, I'm continuing on with my Quantum Leap Season 2 little mini marathon. Watching episodes 4 to 7 because I have not been paying attention for the last month and missed the last 4 episodes being on Channel 7 here in Australia. I could have just watched them on TV, but now I'm watching them on their streaming service 7 Plus. So this episode was called One Night in Koreatown, and it was really, really good. It's brilliant. It starts off with, Ben basically leaping into a boy who works in his father's shoe store. He's got another brother, and it just happens to be the day of the Rodney King verdict. And if you all were alive then, you saw the days and days of writing that followed that, and it's really weird as you get a little older and you start to see the things that you sort of lived through or witnessed being represented in documentaries and TV shows and things like that. It's just really weird. And to see, different perspectives of these and in some cases what really happened versus what you saw on the news or whatever. So they're just going about their business. A lady comes in and asks him to hold a pair of shoes because she's got to get some money out and come back before a shift or whatever, because she needs the shoes for a hospital shift. She's doing doubles. And then they hear about the verdict, and of course, if you know anything about that, basically, it was a joke. These police were guilty as sin, but they got off, and the town just exploded. And the riots, I don't totally understand why, particularly places like Koreatown were so badly affected by the riots. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but I just was sort of aware that there was this huge issue, and that's why there is still to this day a lot of issues between the Asian communities and Korean communities and that, and black communities and just all that. I wasn't really aware of it at the time, but I've sort of learned more about it since with documentaries and that about the whole thing. But basically of course, Ben tries to get them all out, but the dad won't leave because he doesn't want to abandon the store because it's his future. It's his family's future, and it's what he's spent 20 years building. So basically they kind of get stuck there. The nurse leaves, but then Ben goes with her, but her car's been destroyed, so she comes back. There was a black kid that is actually working on some shoe designs with the other son, and the dad, because he's vaguely racist, just assumes he's a thug and a punk and he's just up to no good. He doesn't know that he's like a, top of his class, got offers from Ivy League colleges and all that. And he's just being openly racist to him the whole time. And it's pretty 90s. And it's a bit much, but it's just, would this character really be like this and not hear himself? But then I sort of try to remember some of the people I've known in my life and they never heard themselves. So, he tries to come in and they won't let him in, and then he has to run. So he's running around trying to escape the police who are hunting down everyone and the rioters who are rioting. And at one point the store gets attacked. One of the sons, they go out and they find the black kid and save him from the police, and he comes in, but one of the sons goes out to get supplies. When he comes back, the dad, who has just had this big blowout and had a go at the black kid and actually pulled his gun on him, turns and shoots his son as he comes in the back with supplies, not realising who he is, thinking he's more of the rioters, because they've already come in, they lock themselves in the back storeroom, and they trash the whole store. All the shoes are gone, and he's devastated. And the kid dares to remind him that you haven't lost everything, you've still got your sons, they're alive, and he shoots his son, and I was like, oh my, how did this happen? Like, he's supposed to stop this, I'm like how? Because I assumed he was going to die because he was supposed to die. And basically they take him out because there was an abandoned ambulance, and the nurse is like, if I have some basic supplies, basically I should be able to save his life. And then, of course, the keys are still in the ambulance, so it's like, well, we can drive the ambulance. And that's when, of course, the police come again. They see the black guy trying to steal the ambulance, of course, so that's what they see. And God bless him, the father stands in front of him and says, do your jobs, protect us, protect and serve. This kid's done nothing. Who are you protecting, from him? Just go do your job and let us save my son, basically. And they sort of go to leave, then they get caught off anyway, so they leave. And he drives to the hospital, and Magic, who has actually taken over from Addison for this leap, reveals that they survive. They end up creating their own shoe company. The father uses the insurance money from the store because he realizes his kids are his future, not the freaking store. It's beautiful. And he invests in them, and they basically become these, shoe entrepreneurs. And after the military, because that's the other thing, he was also losing both his sons because one was had just been like, I don't want to work with you, and the other one, like, I quit, I can't deal with you anymore. And the other son was joining the military, which he told the father. So he's learned that one son has basically just rejected him and said, I don't want to work with you. And the other one is going to the military. So he's lost his sons, he's losing his business, his whole world was collapsing. But, he realised that, he still had his sons. And after the military, the other son does like a business degree, and then he becomes the first CEF or whatever. And they all work together, live happily ever after. And it's a really great story, and I loved it. I found a lot of things really emotional. Like, just the drama was really well played. Just knowing what was going to happen to them, knowing what happened and the history of it. A lot of older shows where you weren't around for those things, you sort of don't know what's going to happen next, but I sort of knew because, it was something I knew about. And the other thing was Magic. He reveals he had a drinking problem, and after Ben was lost, he started drinking, and the whole crew sort of saw all that go down. He's had a bit more than a year of sobriety, and his wife, Beth, was freaking out because she found a bottle somewhere. He said he found a bottle that he had hid in the past, he tipped it out, and he isn't drinking again. But he wants to. He's just having a lot of hard time with it. And this case upsets him because he was a part of one of the race riots in the 1960s, and he was actually beaten by police. So he was having trouble sort of watching this black kid be chased by the police and not be able to do anything about it either, and that feeling of helplessness that he had. So he ends up asking Beth to come, instead of going to dinner, to come to him with our AA meeting because he's having trouble. And, this family's sort of taking care of itself. I really am enjoying the show. It's such a pity they didn't do a third season because it is a good show. The cast is great. The characters are great. They've got this little family happening. It's really enjoying it. And I'm glad I'm having a little mini marathon, but there's still more. It's not like binging a whole season and then having nothing left. I'll have a few more episodes. But yeah, I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. I didn't mean to talk this long, but it was a really good episode. There was a lot in it. And the performance of the father, his change after shooting his son is a bit, abrupt, but he does finally see that this kid, and it probably helped that he's like, doing so well in school and everything. And he told him about all that because that's something he can respect. He turns pretty quick, but it's quite a good scene where he saves him. And when he shoots his son, I was like yelling at the TV, like, how can that happen? How they're supposed to stop this? They can't go back in time? They can't fix this. It was like, goes to the ads, and I'm like yelling at the TV during the ads. It really got me. So I love this show, and yeah, I'm gonna go watch the other 2 episodes. Bye.